Welcome back, folks, to this part of Let's Play Resident Evil 4. Now that Ashley's come back to us, we get some items. So I'll combine the yellow and red herb and the yellow and green herb and the yellow and red herb. This way I have a full life herbs and a life increasing herb. Whenever I get hit with a small amount, I'm just gonna use it on myself. I'm gonna get called from Salazar. Now, I said this is probably the longest chapter in the game, and there are a lot of reasons why that is. And a big part of it is the fact that if you want to get a free weapon, you have to backtrack a great deal in this level. Now, here is where much of the backtracking is. And actually, you'll eventually get a super backtrack ability, basically. Anyway, let Ashley stay there. And for some reason, the gate will just disappear. I've never been sure why. And you can take the rocket launcher, and with a little bit of finagling, you can make some room. Easy as Arnie Pie in the sky. Anyway, go back up. And the reason I told Ashley to stay was because if she followed you, she would be waiting at this ladder, waiting for you to jump down, or waiting for you to pick her up, or let her drop, I should say. Now, there's a cool thing you can do here where if you're precise enough, you can get 3 people in a row. Nope. Yes, Ashley can take quite a bit of damage in this region. It looks like I'm out of ammo for now. Or I should say, I don't have any more ammo in my rifle for now. But took care of that enemy. It looks like I can get another one. Trying to conserve ammo against guys who are completely immune to headshots is a little bit difficult. And I've been pretty lucky with these knee shots. Most of the time, hitting people with in the knees will not automatically make them available for suplexing. But luck is on my side. Anyway. You want to take these guys out from a distance, because they can be obnoxious. And pretty much anybody with these iron masks is annoying, because no headshots, no kicks, and pretty much no knifing, basically. And the side guys are always going to be not exactly annoying, but very tense and very dangerous, because if they throw those at you, they can take quite a bit of damage. And unlike a lot of other weapons where it will only hit Leon, the scythes are one of the few weapons that can actually hit both Leon and Ashley all in one go, particularly if they're thrown. Now, if you've come here this late in the game, there should be... Oh, there aren't any. Oh, well, in the original GameCube version, there were Novistadors, or should I say the bugs from the insects, hanging in this area. However, it looks like in most versions that were released later on, including the Wii version and I think the PS2 version, that was changed. Anyway, one of these always has a snake, so be careful. Alright, brown chicken, egg. See if we can get 3 in a row. Ah, no. Break off the lock. Get the spinel. Trying to reload there, but I didn't have any ammo. And we're back to this place. And here, where I failed to kill crows. But I don't think they respawn. Nope, they do not. Anyway. Move on. And no enemies here, but this one treasure room, which we could not access before, now accessible. This is a nice little thing to reward people who backtrack, and it's nice, and it's also cool that they designed it in such a way that it wasn't completely empty. And I think this is why the Novistadors were there in the original game, because on the way back you don't encounter too many enemies, and the Novistadors are one of them. But I guess having the invisible insects come right the hell out of nowhere in the castle is kind of random. Anyway, and this is the weapon we will get, the Broken Butterfly. Now, you do later on get a weapon known as the Killer 7, or I should say a revolver known as the Killer 7. However, that weapon is probably not as good because its final unlocked feature is... Actually, no, I don't think it has a final unlocked feature, and that's the problem. Whereas the broken butterfly has pretty much just does ridiculous damage. You know, that's always good. This is tricky. Trying to fit more ammo in a place where there is no room. Oh, but thankfully, I need to heal. So, there's a little more room left. And, oh, it looks like I'll have just enough room as long as I... Fuck it. Alright, I need to get rid of this egg.
Wait.
So, Ashley. Fuck you. Haha! It's always funny. Okay, you can take the broken butterfly, and it fit perfectly. Nice! I need to keep the rocket launcher for some time. Alright. And, yes, the merchant can upgrade the broken butterfly up to whatever level he has. He'll upgrade it no matter what, even if you didn't buy it from him. So anyway, we can backtrack through this way. You can go the other way as well, but it will also, that way it seems a bit slow to me. Either way, you should not run into any resistance. Oh, but I forgot one last treasure, and that's some gold bars. 5,000 pesetas. Ashley's here, even though I called her late. And I don't believe any more enemies will spawn. So you just have a long walk all the way back to the room where you first rescued Ashley. Or should I say Ashley rescued herself? After all, you only released Ashley, but Ashley figured out her own way to get back to you. So, in all fairness, you released Ashley, but she rescued herself. Which is not something you always see. Anyway, there's also something kind of funny. In the PS2 version, like, if you backed up into the merchant's head the right way, you could actually see, like, the inside textures of his eyes, but it looks like in the updates they changed that.
Got some rare things on sales. What are you buying?
Bought all the normal things, but now what I'm going to buy are the upgrades to the broken butterfly, of which there are many.
Thank you.
Alright. No upgrades to the shotgun because we will be replacing it in a very short while.
Is that all?
Anyway, it looks like we got plenty of treasure.
Thank you.
Alright. We'll be getting the green gem for the elegant mask very soon as well. And all this random stuff we found coming up very nicely. So anyway, now we will proceed forward. It's interesting how there are a lot of... This game is rather idiosyncratic in much of its design. Like, you'd think village, castle, island would be a good setup for just, like, a decent variety of levels. But then they have levels that are just like, where did that come from? That are bizarre, but at the same time, strangely, you know, enticing to see what you can do there. For example, here, you enter the lava world. Or basically like an underground magma chamber. It's one of the most out-of-nowhere areas in the game, but it's strangely memorable because of that. There is nowhere else in the game like this, and probably Leon should be dehydrated from a second being in here for 1 second. Anyway, as soon as these guys spawn, if you skip the cutscene, you can get a very quick shot against them. Alright. Shooting the guy in there will automatically break the chains that are holding up these dragons. These things are very slowly turning. And if you don't shoot fast enough, they will turn in until you cannot shoot them. Anyway, shooting down every single one of these will open up a treasure one by one. It's interesting to look at these areas and think to yourself that they were intended to be played while running away from fire-breathing dragons. But obviously most of the time I think people just shot the guys off. Anyway, I'm not sure if this area is infinitely spawning, but a lot of enemies will spawn from this little platform up there. can take them out one by one, but I'm never sure whether they're infinitely spawning. It oftentimes feels as if they are. Anyway, another Elos Illuminatus pendant. The pendants can later be combined with other items, but or no, one other item I should say. But that other item has something else that it can be combined with that makes it much better. You're going to want to skip this cutscene every time you see it because it gives you an opportunity to be able to shoot the guy inside. But you have to be pretty quick about this. And the other thing is, if you don't skip the cutscene, you'll basically be put into a position in which you almost have to take damage. And that can be a load of crap. Alright, for some reason you can't skip the scene of the guy falling, but you can skip the scene of the guy... Ah, jeez. You cannot skip the scene of the guy... Or you can skip the scene of the ladder coming up, but not of the guy falling. Very strange. So anyway... Ooh, drop some movies. Take care of these guys. Always try to minimize bullet usage. Because you're gonna need it. Or who knows? I might not. Anyway, take the flight of stairs that came up, and you'll get the last thing you need. The lion ornament. Now the lion, goat, and snake ornaments were part of a bus that we saw, and for, I think the goat ornament and the snake ornament were completely unskippable. You had to get them in order to progress. However, the lion ornament here was actually, you could move on without it, but you would eventually hit the brick wall because guess what? You needed to progress. But it wasn't quite as, but this one is not as blunt as the other ones are, because the other ones, it was outright you cannot progress to the next room. This one, you can go to that room, but you can't go do anything once you're there. That always comes off as a little different to me, like how much of a sense of agency you can entice in a player, if you will. You know, how much control do you have? It's like, you can't get out of here until you do this. It's like, oh no, you can get out of here. You just can't go very far once you're there. And either way, it's progressing. You know, it's progressing. It's stopping your progression, so you need to get it regardless, especially considering it's right here. So anyway, beautiful decoration of a creature, which I forget his name. The goat ornament, lion ornament, and the snake ornament. That's a pretty complicated key system right there. You know, you have to lock your house that way sometimes. You know, house keys, admittedly, you know, they're pretty easy to handle, but giant slabs of stone, you know, that's the most secure way to go. Alright. Anyway. Oh, I missed. Break that pot, and I cannot fit a single thing in here. Dang, and it's a good grenade. Put down this picture of Salazar, or Sadler, I should say. Get 5,000 pesetas. Now, I'm actually thinking that this is where I was supposed to shoot down the green gem, but you can do it much earlier than it intends you to. So, yeah. Move all the way back down to the... Where is it? Where? Ah, yes. Move all the way back down to the door and go through it. I thought one cart ride was fine. Try two. And I gotta say, this is actually a very pretty view of the castle, although this is a huge region. Like, look how many castle areas there are here. This castle is just enormous. And actually, if you look at the map, from the beginning that you enter this area, you can always look at the whole map, and it's insanely big. Yeah. Alright. Anyway, get on the trolley cart. And I think I was talking about how I'm not really sure. At one point I was talking about how I don't really think this game is that scary. And I think it's because the spooky atmosphere and, like, kind of the semi-spooky dialogue is kind of there more to... Or the semi-spooky setup is there more to make the more humorous bits stand out a little more. and make the sense of control you have over what you're doing that much more prevalent. You know, it's the Young Frankenstein formula. Like, Young Frankenstein has a lot of creepy moments, a lot of creepy scenery, and just ominous moments, but it's a comedy. It's there to offset all the comedy. It's there to make the funny moments seem all the funnier. Ooh, and I got the green gem, I should say. Anyway, and now that we've gotten the green gem, we can not look at the map. And shit. Anyway, look up the keys and treasures with all the jewels here. Put them into the elegant mask. Combine them into an RGP elegant mask. Now, of course, to progress, you need to have 2 chalices, the king and the queen. If I'm not mistaken, there is actually an easy mode in like some European versions of this game, or I should say some versions of this game. And apparently, in that one, you only need one. You only need one of those chests. Anyway, collect handgun ammo. Collect the ammo here, and get all the stuff. Try to look through the merchant's eyes. Nope. And see that it's an empty vesicle. Look at him. This is how that's how he sees. His face is one big eye. That's why he has to cover his mouth.
Welcome.
Anyway.
Got some rare things. What are you
Now I'm not
buying?
low on cash at all.
Is that
So I'm just gonna buy everything.
Is that all?
Well, not the shotgun
Thank
stuff.
you.
It's probably not worth
Selling?
it. Anyway, now that we're here, we can buy
Is that all?
or sell our
Is that all?
spinels, violet blues.
Thank you.
I'm keeping all this stuff until I get the blue one, and sell our super elegant mask and the Illuminatus pendant.
What are you
Now,
buying?
I know you're thinking to yourself, Carlos, you have way too much money. Nonsense. I am now going to do the target practice for this area. This is with the part where you can get the second target practice. And man, it gets harder and harder as it goes. And it gets really tricky with the PS3 controller. And now these sort of mini games where you're testing your ability to basically shoot very accurately, very, very quickly, are nothing new to games. However, a lot of them are seen as really distracting or really detrimental to the total gameplay. And I think a lot of the times the reason for that is because these things are pretty much mandatory in some games. Or when they are implemented, they're either really boring or act more as endurance tests, if you will. Like, this is a problem with San Andreas. Like, if you try to upgrade your weapons through the target practice at ammunition, you are going to be so frustrated because you have to do 10 very difficult target practices perfectly in a row, whereas this simply rewards you for, not wasting ammo, for not missing. It rewards you for being good, but it doesn't, but it isn't easy. It isn't easy, and the ways to get those rewards are not easy either. It's not exactly an easy shot to hit Salazar in this game, or I should say that mini Salazar back here. It's a tricky shot, and a lot of times I've seen people like try to go for rifle shots for that shot specifically just to make sure they're gonna get points. And even then, how do you get the ultimate reward? Don't miss 5 times. And hell, go for headshots, the much harder shots, you get double points. And hell, even going for that Salazar shot. I think there was one case where I actually lost one headshot because I was so busy trying to hit Salazar. So it's actually an intricate mini game, and this is why I think this is a little more appreciated than some other ones. Although this one, again, is not entirely appreciated because I think a lot of people think this is too hard, which to some extent I understand. But after playing enough of this game, I think I got it down pretty well. Alright. Now, the one thing I do not exactly like about this is how many times you have to do the same thing over and over again. Now, I understand that practicing something is a great way to get good at it, but the fact that I have to practice this, or have to play through the easier mode of each individual target practice 3-4 times and then do it twice is a little obnoxious, particularly for 100%. And now I understand designing, you know, basically 6 perfectly balanced target practices for each individual stage in the game is not exactly the best time or use of development time. But for a mini game, I thought that would have been nice. And I like that there is, again, a reward, although you could argue that with all the other ways to reward yourself, yeah, that just getting a lot of money isn't necessarily, you know, the best thing. But hey, you know, what else do you get? Quirky-ass dolls that, yeah, quirky dolls, pretty much. I guess whatever reward you get is, you know, whatever is like, whatever meaning you have to it, just depends on, you know, or should I say, the meaning you have, the meaning the reward has to you is ultimately what will define, or how the ultimate reward will be defined by how good it is. You know, for example, like a lot of people really dislike the 100% reward for Super Mario 64 because it's just like, Yoshi's there, he does nothing and gives you 100 lives, which you don't need because you just 100% of the game. You know? And this game kind of has nothing. It's just the ultimate sense of satisfaction that you beat a game with, like, minimal damage or whatever. Fuck. Alright. If you accidentally click the wrong one, you can quick target practice by talking to the door. Ah, now this is the tricky ones. The ones that are open from the beginning. These are tricky. How did I miss from that close? These are tricky because the distances get a little ridiculous. Using the rifle is the most reliable way to do this, but it's also really slow. You're not gonna miss as often with this rifle, but you might miss something completely, not by necessarily not by failing to, or should I say, not by missing your target, but by never getting the shot to, but by never being able to get the shot off, because this is so very slow. But thankfully, because you won't miss as often, the Salazar guy will come up much more often. And the dynamite, easy hit. I've had some instances where that doesn't count as 5 hits, but most of the time it will still work. Anyway, last attempt. And yes, doing this while trying to converse about a topic is a bit tricky. But hey, I've seen crazier things. Ah, dang it. That's another thing that is kind of annoying about these sort of things, because the hit, or I should say the collision or the hit detection mapping is apparently put out before, or is apparently removed before the actual models are. You can miss when you clearly hit something. Alright. Alright. Okay. Gotta hit these one by one. Alright. Salazar can be there for some time. They designed this almost specifically as if you could, like, hit it, as if you could hit every single target with a handgun. Ah, dang it. Whoa. Camera angle went really wonky there. And hell, I missed 8 guys and still got the prize. So that shows you how much leeway you can have. Like, how this is both challenging, rewarding, but it rewards skill rather than brute force. But it's not really that broken about it. Anyway, we got more bottle caps. This next row is a bunch of enemies, particularly the Ganados. Don Jose, which translates to "behind you, you idiot." I'm never really sure what he says because that always sounds very grovelly to me. I believe that means a foreigner. There he is. Is what it roughly translates to. And this is actually where I got the official name of these girls. I'm sure some of you thought that I was just making up their names, but no, they are really called the Bella Sisters, which is rather odd because there are currently WWE divas who are actually called the Bella Twins. Alright. We will be seeing a few of those guys again, but I don't believe we see the Bella Sisters again. We see regular Ganados later on in a mining level. However, it's not exactly in their village region. And why does this one stand out to me so much? It looks like they drew a face on top of his face. Okay. Anyway, we can now move on to this region. In order to get the 2 chalices, I believe here we'll get the king chalice, or the queen, I'm not sure. Anyway, pick up this yellow herb, combine it with the green one. I haven't been damaged yet, so I'll move on. Sample retrieved. One has to wonder how they're writing out these reports so very quickly. Okay, be prepared for quick time events in this region. And yeah, always absorb or always get ammo. Ashley will always dodge as long as you dodge. Actually, I don't think she can actually take any damage in this area. The knights will only ever hit you, and I would always recommend you keep Ashley outside, because once you trigger this, her being there is going to be a liability, especially since these enemies take very, very wide, can take very wide, or have very wide attacks, I should say. Alright. Now, my strategy for all of these is to expose the parasites that are on these guys' heads, and then throw 1 flash grenade. This can be tricky, but it minimizes any waste from the flash grenades. Although it does mean I will most likely waste a lot of bullets. I wouldn't exactly try to rely on being able to easily dodge their overhead strikes, because that's not the only attack they have. They also have like a sideways swipe, which is very, very fast. And I believe he almost tried that right there. Oh, jeez. As you can see, the parasite's range is greatly exceeding that of the weapons they're carrying. If you can mess around with the AI enough, they'll just sort of stop in their tracks. Anyway, once all the parasites are exposed... Ooh, I only have 2 flash grenades. Better not fuck this up. Take them down. And run out of ammo. Or I should say, run out of room for their ammo. Ah, jeez. And we'll get another set of knights. These even stronger than the ones before. These will all be stage 2 parasites, which means they are basically insta-kill once they get in range. And because of this, they will actually not use their swords, or they tend to not use their swords once you expose their heads. This can make them really dangerous if you like to stand your ground. You have to always remember to try to move as much as possible. It will minimize the chances of you getting fucking beheaded. If you stay close to the table and do very quick revolutions around it, you can mess with the AI a bit, and I believe you've already seen some of it. Sometimes the AI will just get confused and stand completely still. Anyway, now that more heads have been exposed, boom! Each of them will always drop 6,500 pesetas. Anyway, now you can collect the green herbs here. and the shotgun shells that they dropped, or I didn't pick up because it probably disappeared, and the other one here. And apparently I have already run out of room. Lovely, but I can just reload. Oh, wait, I threw grenades. Yeah, I can just reload, and most likely not have any room left. Shit. Well, whatever. Alright, either way, once I get the next upgrade to the shotgun, I don't think I will actually be using it for some time because... And, oh wait, no, it's almost immediately followed by the insects. Oh yeah, I will have some great use for the shotgun, but it will be in the future. Anyway, move across this this kind of... I do like the way a lot of this is set up. It actually does remind me so much of how a lot of Remake is designed. In fact, I do think a horror game from this perspective can still be made. You would just need a different set of controls and most likely a different type of loadout. Like, I would still do this. Like, have something where you can have something, a limited amount on screen or whatever, and then have, like, some trunk in which you can put a lot of weapons, but never give them that much. Always give them the knife, because it really doesn't make sense why they wouldn't have it. And for God's sakes, don't fucking limit how many keys you can have. That is honestly a load of crap, because most of the times, like, people say that's part of the challenge. I'm like, that's not really much of a challenge. It just means, like, you have to keep putting stuff away. Unless you know what you're gonna have, you're never gonna know whether or not you're gonna need it. And I'm not even talking, like, finding the keys first. I mean, like, you're not gonna carry all your keys on you in more traditional Resident Evil games, because that's just not very smart.
Wait. Follow me.
You know, it's like, what are you gonna do? Prioritizing health over, or hell, prioritizing ammo over health items is one thing. Prioritizing time over...
I think you've lived long enough.
Time over safety is much more annoying. Anyway, we were lured into a death trap, but if you shoot these lotuses, very easily end this. For some reason the camera gets way lower here. Presumably to, you know, check out the ceiling. Let's see. Anyway. And it auto-adjusts. No matter how you... I think you might be able to push Ashley onto the other side, but she will almost always be behind you when you do this. Or, like, when the cutscene triggers, she will spawn behind you. It's a little tricky. I'm trying to see whether I can push her in.
Frankersy, 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 Frankersy.
Oh! That was interesting. I tried to push her in, but then she kind of went behind. That was weird. Oh well, that's what I get for glitching the game. So it looks like Ashley's spot will automatically reset. Trying to hit these guys is actually annoying because of the bars. But I managed to do it. And she will automatically follow you regardless of what exactly you told her to do beforehand. I wouldn't exactly get in front of that because I'm pretty sure that will just push you back and hurt you bad. Ah, jeez, I picked up rifle ammo and I have no room for it. Ah, jeez. Okay. Got more stuff here. And more rifle ammo that I don't have any room for. But I have handgun ammo, which apparently a box has room for. If I had a whole chessboard, the game sort of rewards you for looking in areas which you wouldn't look, like looking in as many areas as possible, but the rewards they give you are kind of ridiculous. I mean, obviously the chessboards and all these things are just money, but who the hell keeps like who the hell would just take somebody's chessboard? And I'm not really sure whether or not like the merchant would exactly be the most interested in a really nice chessboard. I mean, who the hell is he gonna play with?
Welcome. Got some rare. What
Anyway,
are you selling?
I'm here. You sell more things. Sell the spinel.
Is that all? Is that all?
Keep the green eye, of course. And sell the elegant chessboard. I'm gonna sell actually a few of my grenades because they are getting in the way. The incendiary grenades, I haven't been able to get really good uses out of them.
Stranger?
And I don't think I will for some time actually, because most of the next area enemies are zealots, And the big enemies I'm going to have to face up, I'm going to use guns. And so I'm probably actually going to get more incendiary
Is that
grenades
all,
regardless. So I
stranger?
can just sell all of them.
Thank you.
Anyway.
Come back, Eddie.
And now, I'm actually going to take this opportunity to do a little bit of remodeling. Because, you know, that's what you do. Alright. So it looks like everything is in order here. Okay. Now, I'm actually pretty well set against anything. I mean, I have 4 full health items and 1 item to expand my health once I get marginally low on health. So, yeah. I'm in good condition. Anyway, back to that drawn-on face. Okay. You can pick up this flash grenade, which I don't need, but whatever. And there will always be people waiting here. You could take them out with the sniper rifle, but I don't want to waste the ammo I have in it because I don't have anything more than that because I had no room when I was trying to pick up the other ammo. Could backtrack, but I don't want to. So try to hit these guys as hard as possible from the distance. The handgun probably would have been the smartest thing. I think these guys can actually, even from that distance, still throw... Ah, jeez. I was trying to hit... Fuck. I was trying to hit these guys with a kick, but they kept getting stunned in weird ways. Alright. Alright. And that's another good thing I like about Ashley, is that, sure, I have to delay my hit, but you know what? At least she fucking moved. Alright. So yes, I actually am getting some use out of my shotgun. Probably should have hit them with that from the beginning. Huh, what was that me saying about I was in good shape? Okay. So now the king's, or the queen's crown on this side. And the king's crown on that side. Okay. That will open the gate. It will let you move on to the next region. Now, one of these pots, for some reason, I can never actually hit the snake that comes out of it. I'm hoping to get it. Okay, it's not this one. Must be on the one on the other side. Ooh, and I auto-killed it somehow. Ooh, and I got a golden egg, another full heal item. Anyway. Got more gold. More gold! And a pot. Now, most of these windows, you can't really do anything if they're broken, but this one, you can jump over. And you got a red herb over here, which means I have another full heal item. Making for 6 in a row that allow me to heal myself all the way up. Will I use them? Nope! Anyway. Now I can climb on up this ladder. There's going to be a part coming up where you have to catch Ashley, but honestly, you don't have to catch her. Since the cutscene will activate in this place regardless, you don't have to catch Ashley for this next part. So anyway, drop down. Trigger the cutscene where Ashley gets captured. And we will be able to have happy days. So yes. Shooting these guys at any point when they're in the air will insta-kill them. As long as they're in the air and they land on the ground, they will instantly die. However, if you shoot them when they're on the ground, like jumping around, I should say, or hopping around, they will not insta-die. They will just take normal damage. The game does not seem to be able to differentiate height differences because they will take the same amount of damage regardless. But hitting them is another story. They have a very sporadic or very odd sort of flying motion in which they'll lunge forward and lunge upwards and lunge backwards. They'll basically fly in big motions and then stop. Sort of like Resident Evil 5 AI or something. Anyway. Collected more green eyes and red eyes because, you know, I didn't have enough of those. And now, there's a giant nest thing. Well, shoot it down. Evidently, handgun ammo is probably not the best idea. But what the hell else am I going to shoot at it? That rocket launcher? What I found very strange is that this nest is apparently bigger than the tower itself somehow. Seems like something straight out of Code Veronica. You know, it seems almost semi-transparent. You could actually shoot these guys down if you could spot them. And hopefully these in this wreckage are 2 blue eyes. Yes, I got one. All right. Okay, are there more? Not. Oh, wait, please be a blue eye. No! Damn it, it's gonna be a really long while until we actually get another another blue eye. Because those things come up once in a while, and they only come up from one enemy. Or, yeah, one enemy. Or actually, one enemy and its variations. And the next time it happens is actually kind of close, but it's kind of a while too. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. Anyway, now that we're separated from Ashley, don't have to worry about certain things, but I have 1 blue eye, and I will combine it in 1 butterfly lamp. Combine it with one with a red and 1 with a green. So now I have a complete butterfly lamp. And I can sell that for major profits.
Some rare. What are you selling?
Anyway, yeah, sell the RGB lamp for a pretty good price. I think you can get a whole gun for that.
Thank you.
I can sell this. I can sell all but 1.
Is that all?
That's not always my safety. Since I know I will always need 1, I always keep just 1.
Is that all? Thank you.
Anyway,
what are you buying?
now this gives us the opportunity to upgrade weapons.
Is that all? Thank you.
All right. Now the broken butterfly.
Is that
I will be getting use out of the broken butterfly, but not here. The reason I don't like to use the broken butterfly is because there are some bosses later in the game which are actually really, really dangerous. So that's where I always save my magnum for big, big hitters. Anyway, get a call from Salazar, and Leon will check out Ashley. Now, how exactly they got over there without drawing the bridge to the other side and then having it come back is difficult to say. I mean, we didn't even see the bridge rotating or even hear it. God knows how long that took. Who knows? Maybe those things jumped across. And the things, I believe, are called vertigos. Much like, where'd you go? That was a bad joke. Which instantly made it was amazing. The guys tossing catapults can actually kill the other guys. I wouldn't count on it, though, because they're chasing you. Or should I say they're creeping towards you. And always beware of people with sickles. Alright. If you're laughing, you know someone's behind you. Anyway. Always trying to conserve ammo. So yes, you now understand why I call this one maybe the longest chapter in the game. A lot of backtracking, and you go to a lot of big areas. There are 3... count them, 3 catapults over there, and you can take them out from this position as long as you don't completely miss, like I have just been doing. Oh, sorry, I just got a minor interruption there, but I was looking away from the screen. And anyway, everyone is dead in this region, and for some, they'll always like break the barrels, so you don't even have to knife those, I don't think, ever. Anyway, in this next area, it will initially be empty. There will initially be no enemies. But it's basically a search and destroy puzzle. Gotta find these pieces of wood in the gears and break them. Right from the beginning, you can actually see all 3 of them and destroy all 3 of them. Okay, there's a ladder to downstairs, but you can't go there. Or I guess you can go down there, But you won't be able to do anything once you're down there. The bridge has to be rotated to be able to cross the bridge. Obviously. Collect ammo there. And what am I thinking? Collect money there, collect ammo there. Bah. Okay. Anyway, move over here, and you will be able to... Oh, well, this is the note that basically says we've caught Ashley, and now we're going to do bad things to her, because we have tentacle monsters, and this is a Japanese game. And once you activate the thing, everything will rotate, and I'm sure you can hear some people have entered through the doorway. So we are no longer alone. This has become an interesting set piece, but unfortunately you can't kick people into the gears of the clock. That would actually be kind of awesome, but I guess that would also defeat the purpose of why you came up here, because you'd basically be jamming it again. And I'm not really sure how you get dead body out of a clock gear. Alright, gotta watch out for the archers. In the next region there are no dead ends, so you can chase them basically infinitely, so you're gonna want to gun them down before they run away. Alright. Once you jump down, you're going to want to immediately turn around, because people instantly spawn behind you, or I should say, back where you were, and throw dynamite. But you're going to want to be careful, because one of them is going to try to run up right up against you. You might want to not even necessarily fight the dynamite guy, because he can actually kill people who are downstairs. Or hell, even himself. Most of the time he will completely miss. But I guess some people survive. Not for long. Wow, that guy's a trooper. Except the dynamite explosion falling from off a tall ladder. I love how that guy's just like, what do I do now? Alright. Now I'm in this position, I will shoot the dynamite. If you shoot the dynamite guy's hand, the dynamite will explode. Anyway, collect the pesetas. Go back to the ladder. Make sure no one's climbing up it. Looks like not. Shit, I didn't mean to fire. And move on. Gotta move on. Stay strong. Exercise every day, except to be square. Beware of the fire. Fire is good, but not in your chest. Unless you mean your heart, but not literally. Because if you have the passion of the fire in your heart, you can do great things if you just know how to get it out. That was random as fuck. Why was I channeling Fernando Martinez there? I gotta wonder how many people even recognize who I'm talking about. Anyway. Ah, this is actually one of the harder regions, and it's followed up by an even harder region. You're on a very small bridge and attacked on both sides. Alright. You'll always want the sniper rifle for this to be able to get headshots without breaking the armor. Without doing that, that could take forever. Alright. You're now being attacked on both sides. Take that guy down at least. Because the rockets, getting hit with a rocket is not pleasant. Alright. You're going to want to run away from the actual place. And there's a very simple reason for that. There is just a lot less people over here. Doing this on a first playthrough can actually be very, very overwhelming. Because there's just so much going on. But if you keep a calm head, look at everything around you, and just think about where you'd be most safe, or how to hit the enemy, you can survive. Alright. Some people will still be coming down from the sides, but after the first wave, I don't think too many keep coming. And unfortunately, even though you shot a guy who had a rocket launcher, you cannot collect that rocket launcher. That would make the next coming area way too easy. Alright. Whew. This next one is... Okay, the way I'm doing it is maybe one of the hardest parts of the entire game. In this next room, you will fight 2 Garradors in one room. If you go into the areas past like the initial hallway, you will trigger people to come in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm never gonna leave that initial hallway. I'm only gonna hit these guys in this small space I have here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kill these 2 zealots, and then try to get into a space in which I can hit both of these guys. I'm hitting both of these guys because these guys are going to be more obnoxious than the Garradors. Alright, and thankfully they're doing attacks which give me plenty of time to hit this guy and hit them. But I'm going to need the handgun for the rest of this, because I don't have much sniper rifle ammo. These guys have really random points in which they'll attack. It doesn't seem like they try to hit the exact same point. That was one of the first times I've ever seen them universally go anywhere. And as I said, they have almost sort of a bubble. If they sense your presence, they'll try to come somewhat close to it. You're gonna want to try to hit at least one of them, and if you can, both of them. All right. It is very, very tricky to not get hit at all, and because of basically the nature of the way this stage plays, you can basically be comboed to death, because they can lock you into hit stun, and while one of them might be able to avoid, while one of them may stop or not be able to hit you, the other one still can. So they can basically wombo combo you. This is very, very tricky. You have to... This is a bit based in luck, but it's more about positioning, and that is the best thing that can happen. One of them dies. One Garrador alone is much easier than 2, as if I needed to state the obvious. Okay. The armored Garradors seem to have a little more health than regular ones, but honestly, I'm not really sure what the armor matters when these guys either way take no damage from bullets. Ah, okay, so killed both of them. Whew. That is always very, very difficult, but I think it's easier if you stay in this beginning portion, because otherwise these guys come in. And these guys are more annoying than the Garradors themselves. Shit. Wow. I can't believe it. I was fucking... I took no damage fighting 2 Garradors in a small room. As soon as, like, 3 Zealots spawn in, I take damage. And there's also 1 Zealot over there in the left upwardmost corner of this room. Alright. And that guy will also greatly inhibit your progress. And I'm sure you were intended to use these bells to try to ward away the Garradores. However, I just in general do not like coming up here to fight those guys, because, well, it means I would have to spawn in all those Zealots, and fighting both of them is just really too much of a clusterfuck for me. Anyway, in this next part, we're gonna have to do a QTE when I skip this cutscene. Alright. And always be prepared for QTEs. And yes, Leon has a bunch of random shit in his room. In his fucking fanny pack, or whatever the hell he has. And it gets kind of sporadic. Like, he'll have climbing kits. He has flashlights. All sorts of weird things. Anyway, you can collect a bunch of random things here, which are presumably to refill whatever you lost in that fight with the two Ganadores. Anyway, I also collected an incendiary grenade, which I sold anyway. So, since I'm low on health and I got a yellow herb, use it immediately. I'm in the good for now, but will that be enough, folks? Ah! And this guy, if I'm not mistaken, allows you to buy the striker shotgun. This is the best shotgun in the game, not for its speed, and not even for its power, simply because of its capacity.
What are you selling? Is that all?
All right.
Thank you.
So sell the older shotgun.
Thank you.
And also sell some jewels.
Is that all? Thank you. Is that all?
Do not sell the crown because you can get two things to fit on it. A set of crown jewels and a royal emblem. You can get both of them very, very soon.
What are you
Anyway, now that I'm here, buy the striker.
Is that all?
It is a very compact shotgun that is probably the best weapon in the game. And it looks like I am done for now. Oh no, not with this pot. And oh shit, I forgot to tune up that striker. Actually, I don't think you can tune up the striker now.
Buying?
But oh, you can.
Is that
You can get the first set, and the striker is actually pretty crap for the first couple of times, but it will always be worthwhile to hang on. For some reason, this part also has some weird delay with the camera. Oh no, never mind. I'm thinking of some other part. Anyway, collect the velvet blue. Always check these. Always check your sewer mains, or sewer openings, I should say. Funnily enough, this is probably the least crappy sewer level ever, and that's probably because you don't really do much in it, and it's more just to set up an eerie dark level. Like, you're almost instantly out of the sewers. You go from, like, DW, you go pretty much from the sewers right to freaking water and power. Alright. And now I have a selection of 7 healing items. Now, I'm sure you're wondering when I was going to use this rocket launcher. Now. When I'm going to use this rocket launcher is right now. I've actually never gone back to check that door, and I've always wondered whether or not it would have any kind of visible damage. Anyway, very soon you'll have to prepare for QTEs. So yes, you'll have to crouch from attacks and jump out of the way of them. All right. They should stop shortly after you activate this switch. All right, turn on the power for the elevator, which for some reason will close the door. All right, sorry about that. I got interrupted once again. And now let's try to move on. All right, try to open the shutter. It will take a while to open. You're intended to just hold off the vertigo in this narrow region. However, I've always hated fighting this guy. He's honestly the most bullshit of the boss fights in this game. And so what I do is I just freeze him and shoot him with a rocket launcher. That will always kill him instantly. In fact, I'm pretty sure you can hit him with the rocket launcher alone, and that will kill him. So what was thought to have taken 4 minutes will in fact take 1. Anyway, now that I'm carrying no weapons and I'm just walking around relaxed, I will collect everything. Get a green herb in that corner. And over onto this side. This is another place where you were intended to keep hitting the opponent with, you know, whatever. I'm pretty sure you could freeze them and then just start knifing them like crazy. However, considering the Vertigo's main attack is an upright claw, that may not be the best of ideas. Anyway, and now we will go to the area that we actually opened up. There's this. Over there you can see the elevator, and even the nitrogen, or liquid nitrogen vent. Now the idea of this boss is either beat it or survive. So it's an interesting idea. But if you just survive, I don't believe the Vertigo will ever come back. And actually, now that... Hold on. Now that the Vertigo is dead, I want to see whether that door actually does have any damage. That'll be funny if there's like some insta-kill thing. Oh, the door does have damage. Oh, and I can't even select it. I have no way of going back to that merchant. So you better not fuck around and miss those crown jewels, or miss that crown. Anyway, and yes, we will have some use out of those crown jewels. Anyway, operate the elevator, and that's going to be it for this part of Let's Play Resident Evil 4. So come back next time, when we're going to go through a mine shaft. See you guys then.